Hey guys, this is Aaron from MTG Challengers, and welcome to another Magic the Gathering highlights video. Today we have Game 1 of the match between Evan playing Dimir Control and me playing Temur Energy. I took the play and led things off with a Spire Bluff Canal. Evan laid down a Submerged Boneyard for his first land, which entered tapped. I played an Aether Hub, getting an energy counter, and then used that counter for green mana to cast a Servant of the Conduit. When it entered the battlefield, I got 2 more energy counters. On his next turn, Evan cast a Fatal Push, killing my Servant and put a Fetid Pools into play tapped. I missed my 3rd land drop and used one of my energy counters for green mana again to resolve a Longtusk Cub. Evan just played a 2nd Pools and passed the turn back. I laid down a Rootbound Crag and attacked with my Cub for 2, dropping Evan to 18 and going up to 3 energy. In post-combat, I attempted to resolve a Whirler Virtuoso. This was a misplay, since the Crag I played this turn should have entered tapped and I wouldn't have had the 3 mana required to cast it. However, Evan countered it with a Censor, so it didn't end up mattering much. Evan put a Swamp into play and cast a Search for Azcanta. I hit for another 2 with my Cub on my next turn, taking Evan to 16 and getting 2 more energy. I cast another Virtuoso, which resolved this time, taking me up to 8 energy counters. At the end of my turn, Evan cycled a Hieroglyphic Illumination, drawing a card. At his upkeep, his Search for Azcanta allowed him to look at the top card of his library. He chose to leave it on top and then drew it. He just played an Ipnu Rivulet and passed it back, so at the end of his turn I paid 6 energy to create 2 1/1 Flying Thopters with my Virtuoso. I swung out with my whole team for 6, dropping Evan to 10 and getting another 2 energy counters with my Cub. Evan chose to put a Hieroglyphic Illumination from the top into his graveyard at his upkeep and laid down another Swamp. I created another Thopter at the end of his turn. I resolved an Attune with Aether, allowing me to search my library for a forest, put it into my hand, and get 2 more energy counters. I then played the forest as my land for turn and swung with my team for 7 damage. In response, Evan flashed in a Torrential Gearhulk and cast the Fatal Push from his graveyard, killing my Longtusk Cub. He then blocked my Virtuoso with the Gearhulk, so in response I paid the 3 energy I had left to create another Thopter. The Virtuoso died and Evan took 3. He put an island into his grave at his upkeep and attacked with his Gearhulk. I chose to take the 5 damage, going to 15. I flew over for another 4 with my Thopters on my next turn, dropping Evan to 3 life. I cast a Bristling Hydra in main phase 2, but Evan flashed in another Gearhulk and cast a Censor from his grave, countering it. He put a 3rd Gearhulk into play on his next turn and used it to draw 2 cards with a Hieroglyphic Illumination. He hit me for 10 with his other 2, taking me down to 5. However, he still didn't have any answers to my Thopters, which flew over for lethal on my next turn, giving me the win and taking us to Game 2. And that is it for this game. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more, check out my highlights playlist. To see the lists for these decks, check out the deck techs. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more Magic the Gathering content.